So what does this mean for us? We're gonna have to relearn how to use our ult properly. Usually before, it was used reactively to a situation where we know we can get at least one kill and or damage their tank enough to secure one. Using your ult in the front line and pressuring the tank to either fall back or die was one of the main ways to get value out of ult, and or securing 1 or 2 kills if you do stun them with the Spider-Man team up. But now trying to use your ult frontline is a very bad choice. In lower ranks and or quick play, it should be fine, but people are now obliterating the ult. Using the ult to engage is really risky now because there's a high chance they'll break it before it does any damage. Unfortunately, this means we can't use it in highly contested choke points. I've talked about the bads now, but like there is a lot of good with just that simple change of it auto-changing direction. Unfortunately, it does come with another downside though. People that are smart enough will realize that you can just force it to go in a direction away from people too. And if there's a map with a ledge, you could just force it off the edge. With all the bad I said though, I do think this is still a good change though. I just think it needs a little bit more HP to be more of a threat. And not just a threat, but also a way to engage. Adding 50 more HP or 100 more HP could really help it. Because as it stands right now, only one person really needs to shoot at it. Now how do we use it now? Seeing what the enemies are distracted to is really important now. If your tanks are contesting their tanks and their DPS aren't ready, you could actually send it in the backlane to have the supports deal with your ult now. It can be effective in a way it wasn't before, where the supports usually just ignored it. Now they're forced to use utility and or their ult to survive, or they have to even go into the front line, which makes them even more vulnerable to your team. There's 3 playstyles you can do with Squirrel Girl right now, but I'll make that for another video. But leaning into the flank style and immediately assassinating one of their supports is really solid. Unfortunately, this does come with a lot of game sense and knowledge that you need to know what time to go in and when to set up and where. Doing it in the middle of team fights is kind of risky because there's a lot of audio with Squirrel Girl. But the main important factor is knowing who and what can destroy your ult the quickest. Most people can deal with it, but some teams can't. When you're getting ready to ult, try your best to figure out what their team is focused on right now. Sending your ult in some situations isn't really good, but paying attention to what walls and where it can bounce is also another way to get more kills with it. Some maps and choke points are a little bit better. For example, second point of the new map is really good. I don't think this buff will skyrocket her win rate or anything insane like that, but it is really nice to make her a little bit more viable in some situations. But for now, we're gonna have to relearn how to use the ult properly. Though granted, I've only had basically a day and a half now to like practice with the new changes and stuff and do it in ranked, but we'll see how it goes down in the future.